Welcome to round number 2 of the 2015-21 Hole Salute. This is part 1 of the coverage brought to you by Final Round Radio and Jomez Productions. My name's Andy Go of Final Round Radio. This is Kevin Keith, or K Squared of Final Round Radio. And all the way over to the far left, or I guess y'all's right, is Kevin Burgess, or KB, of Final Round Radio. What's going on, fellas?
Feeling good.
Feeling great. So we're about to get into round number 2 here, but real quick, we want to talk about Final Round Radio. Of course, disc golf podcast that we present every other Friday afternoon. And you can download us on iTunes or on Stitcher Radio. Go out there and find us. Subscribe, favorite, leave us a review. Tell us what you think.
FinalRoundRadio.com. Here's the thing. You don't actually have to see us because we're pretty ugly, so you just got to listen.
I know. It makes it that much easier for you guys to take us seriously. So here we go, guys. We're going to get into round number 2 here of the 2015-21 Hole Salute. So let's go ahead and get started here with hole number 1. First tee shot here is a backhand shot. You want to go right to left.
Tight match, too. Tight game.
It is a tight game up at the top here. There is a slope that goes around the right edge of the fairway here that you want to try and avoid.
So that was Hunter Todd, I believe, teeing off there.
And if we remember correctly, Hunter Todd is the, was it first annual?
Second.
Second annual.
The 3 people before him were Michael Johansson won, then Hunter Todd just destroyed everybody, and then Michael Johansson, and now maybe another Hunter Todd. So, and right there you got Bryan.
Bryan Hoffman catching some early tree down there, and that's not a good place to be off the tee.
What's Bryan's story there, K-Squared?
Well, it's a pretty great guy to walk along with here on this second round. Bryan Hoffman jumped up from one of the other cards pretty quickly. Former UNC Charlotte team captain here. I'm a little distracted by the really smooth and buttery T-bird shot from Philo Brathwaite. Yeah. But Bryan Hoffman, great guy, can throw forever, and a really good sport. Enjoyed playing with him.
And you were also introduced there to, almost threw that one in, Bryan did. You're also introduced there to Charlie Coleman right here, who you're going to see is 99% sidearm. So I'd be shocked if he throws a single backhand today.
Coleman there gets a bad skip off of that slope there, and he's going to have about a 30-foot comebacker. Here's a running putt coming up right on the money there.
Starting off this round, we're just, saying hey, introducing each other, etc. Charlie Coleman rolls up to me, goes, "Hey, guy, you know who I am?" It's like, "No, dude, do you know who I am?" He goes,
Tyburski, just a little bit short there on the birdie putt.
He goes, "I'm Charlie Coleman." So if you don't know, we're going to let you know shortly.
I think his game's going to speak for himself here on this round.
Here is Charlie, just a little bit short. Front of the cage there. He'll tap in.
Slam
so no
dunk.
birdies here.
But you guys also have seen all these awesome 3D hole layout stuff. Man, they look awesome. We didn't really talk about that first episode. We're trying not to spoil your excitement, but that's been really exciting for us, I know, watching.
Some of you guys may have already seen the full course run-through in 3D. That's arguably the new age of 3D mock-ups for disc golf here. Brought to you by Jomez Productions.
I only say that because this hole is beautiful.
Here's a great example of that right here. Hole number 2, 230 feet. Par 3, straight up this hill. A great incline. A big, wide Anheuser backhand shot for Hunter Todd. And it's tough to get that sort of juice that you need to get it up to the basket there. Hunter's a little bit short there.
That's pretty damn good.
But for some of these guys, we'll see them challenge the pin off the tee. Here's Tyburski, a smooth-looking shot. Gets up and around, a little bit short as well. And
coming off the first round, Tyburski switched up to a mid-range on this shot, and you can see there's a big difference on how he ended up.
He birdied the first go-around, didn't he?
He sure did with that, was it a ZXL, I believe he threw?
I wonder why he went mid-range.
Philo very short on his tee shot, so have yet to see anybody put a pin high.
Kaboom.
Here's Hoffman. A nice strong pull, but again, they're turning it over just a little bit too much coming out of the coming out of that turn. And of course, there is a mando tree there that's hard to see on the camera. It just zoomed in on it there, but that definitely shapes the shot quite a bit off the tee.
That is hands down one of the best forehand shots I've ever seen on this hole.
Yeah, which we'll see again next round. So impressive. I guess the forehand could get the roll down the hill, though.
Coming in on hyzer with catching an edge down that steep hill anybody who knows Philo, he's about 6'4", and you could tell how far down the hill he really was.
And
that's
the
rough.
side of the hill looking great. A lot of work went into the maintenance of the course coming into the 21-hole salute. So I know Kevin Purgis, KB, put a lot of work in himself.
No. Everyone who helped. Not me. I don't do work.
Just tell everyone else what to
That's
do,
it,
right?
man.
Yeah, for all those who didn't know, Burgess was out there, shoes off, running from hole to hole, making sure that everything was as close to perfect as possible for this tournament.
I actually ripped my toenail off on hole 21's rope. So you guys hate 21 for playing it. I hate it for putting it up.
Yeah, nobody really wanted to hear that.
Yeah, well, you just heard it there.
Hole number 3, 265 feet, par 3, downhill. 3 different ways to look at it: forehand, overhand, or the backhand. And trying to stick it right by the pin here. Let's see what the card does. Here's Charlie going with the forehand route.
Get down.
Nice and
Trying
wide.
to spike it in.
Gets a little bit long.
He was the only birdie on that last hole, too, which is strange for a 5-card open group.
Here's Hunter Todd with a backhand route, and he's tracking.
The former champ knows how to do it.
Just a little bit short there, but that should be an easy birdie putt for Hunter Todd. And now the overhand route by Tyburski. So immediately you see those different options that come into play. And a tough rollaway here for Tyburski. That just did not seem to want to come down at all.
Yeah, you can see Philo's shirt just whipping back and forth there.
Philo hangs it out there and almost gets it in off the tee.
That was almost his first Sports Center ace.
Here's Hoffman taking a similar backhand line. Short. But that rolls right up there next to Hunter Todd's. Here's Tyburski working against that rollaway. Almost gets it back in.
Great bid.
That's like you're playing horse and you're in this really weird, awkward spot and almost cannon the putt.
No, that ceiling is very low right there, so you have to keep your putt low and give it a lot of spin. Philo out of the woods, no problem.
He must have missed it then by about 8 feet behind it, but from that tee pad, it looked like it was slicing right in.
And they must have had a little skip too. There's Hunter Todd cleaning up a birdie.
Looking back from first round to second round, you could see the adjustments that Philo made. He was a little bit shallow on that first round pull, and this time he just barely missed the ace and was able to knock it in for the bird.
Well, he got birdie both rounds there.
Hey guys, drive for show, putt for dough.
Hole number 4, 420 feet, par 3, a long downhill shot with the OB creek to the right and a lot of trees to the left. So control and accuracy off the tee is paramount.
As Hunter takes the lead, actually, too.
Hunter,
That's the first lead change we've seen.
he's a little bit on the outside edge there, but should have a good look at it. Philo.
Someone needs to take that trash can out.
That
Philo with the turnover and a beautiful tee shot.
is a beauty.
That was an adjustment, too. Good call, Kevin. K-square.
That's about as good as you can do it off the tee.
Let's see if Mr. UNC Charlotte can lace one.
Hoffman going right down the middle here.
So it looks like these guys are doing some damage on this hole right here.
There's Charlie Coleman with the forehand route. A little bit wide. Might have hit some of those trees on the left side.
Yeah,
He's
going
smart,
into this
though.
hole, Charlie's like, yeah, I'm going to hit the pole right in the middle. He tried his best.
It's definitely what you aim for, unfortunately.
There's Tyburski turning it over a little bit. Ends up on that left side, but not in any danger. And that is the OB that's behind the basket. Tough look there for Charlie Coleman.
Hey, Pat Bowles, put some shoes on, buddy. Our spotter out there just going barefoot, getting everybody's discs out of the creek.
And that is OB on the other end, too.
That
So
creek.
that OB that surrounds the pin is coming into play here.
So that second round, you can see we just got a couple out of bounds, but nobody went out of bounds off the tee pad the entire second round of this tournament.
Big
Oh!
putt there from Hoffman. Great job. Finish that one off. And it's hard to tell on the screen, too, but the ground here is really made of sand. There's a lot of sand on the ground here, so it really slows the disc up. You're not going to see a whole lot of skips off the ground on this hole.
Hey, how do you guys feel about that step-through putt?
The
from Charlie?
Feldberg, yeah, the Feldberg step through. It was beautiful.
Big
Oh,
putt there
this
for
Yeah.
Philo.
Putt is beautiful.
That is nice. With an OB behind him, he just goes right at it. A little bit on the outside edge, but it drops.
Did you just say the OG behind him?
OB.
Oh, no.
I know that Philo might have liked it if I'd given a shout out to OG or Oak Grove, but
We got two
I suppose I
birdies
just
on
did.
this hole. Is just fantastic.
Even on an MPO lead card, this is definitely a bonus hole.
there's Coleman cleaning it up. Tyburski looks to do the same. No problem.
A little bit of a bent basket. Had some vandals come and knock it around.
Hole number 5, 535 feet, par 4, a monster of a hole. A little bit of a snake left to right off the tee, and then another left to right shot to approach the basket.
And just like that, we have a three-way tie.
Philo with a forehand off the tee, gets around the edge.
With
a little bit of a tight skip there. That's not an easy second shot.
Well, he birdied it before from there.
Here's Hoffman. That's going to do him very well, right in the middle of the fairway. Tyburski too tight.
This course is a great test of pretty much every shot somebody could have in the bag. We've been seeing backhands, forehands, thumbers, tommies.
That's where I want to be right here. Let's see if I'm throwing it correct.
That is a nice edge there. You got the height where you wanted it to be, so it spiked down a little bit. Didn't get the skip.
And Charlie's the quickest player ever, apparently, right?
Yo, Charlie Coleman challenged Jomez. He said, Jonathan, you're going to have a lot of fun filming me. Jonathan's like, nah, I got it. I don't know.
It sounds like Charlie's got more games going on against like people who he's not competing with, like you, Jomez. Like, I don't know if that threw off his game at all.
He's playing pretty well, so maybe it works for him.
Here's Tyburski winding out that forehand, trying
Flex.
to get it to skip off the slope, and it does not reach it. That's OB.
You can see this hole's a little tighter than that fly-through shows.
And that slope of that hole, too, is a little bit more pronounced than in the fly-through as well.
Tough break for Bryan Hoffman there. He put it on the right line, just the disc wasn't quite as stable as he thought.
Here's Philo trying to just get a nice, easy layup.
So this time he laid up. Did he have nothing?
So the difference between this shot and the shot in round one was really a matter of 3, maybe 4 feet. He didn't quite have the same line thrown into that high, dangerous gap that he threw into in the first round. And it was a hard decision to get him to lay up, and he thought that was the best thing to do.
And now look at the shot that he has to replace it. A nice clean run at the basket. He goes a little bit long, but still smart golf from Philo. Here's Hoffman going at the basket as well. Just needed a little bit more height on it.
I think I need lessons from Hoffman. He drops down a lot like me, but he's a lot better at it.
Tyburski up and clean.
First birdie look we're seeing.
Ooh.
There it is. Very nice putt out of the woods from Hunter Todd, showing you why he's a former champion of this event in 2013.
He also put a lot of work into this course when it first opened up, so he was one of the reasons this course even exists.
Coleman cleans it up. Philo from uphill a few feet. Possibly a challenge for a guy with his height, but doesn't affect him.
Uphill putts are so much more forgiving than downhill putts.
Yeah, a couple easy tap-ins, but not easy scores.
Let's move on into hole number 6, 276 feet, par 3, left to right, good forehand hole, and if you can get a good skip off the ground, you can attack the basket pretty well here.
Speaking of attacking the basket, Hunter Todd.
Exactly.
And he hits early tree
Well,
there,
he attacked
though.
it, but he attacked that last hole. I mean, that was a huge separation there from Hunter.
Here's Philo throwing another forehand. He's been relying on this shot a lot, and it gets a nice roll. Puts him right by the basket. Great shot from Philo Brathwaite. Early tree here for Charlie Coleman.
That's heartbreaking for somebody who throws as many and as effective forehands as he does.
Here's Hoffman.
that
Needs
could
it to
be-
hook up a little bit, and it doesn't. Gets on that left side of the fairway.
That was defective. Not effective.
Tyburski with the high line. Coming down strong. Spikes a little bit. Doesn't get the skip
earlier.
that he was
Hit
looking
putt.
for.
It's absolutely, 45 from there? 40?
It was about 40 from there. Talking about that tee shot, KB, you're a predominantly forehand player. What are you putting off the tee pad here?
Philo looks like he probably threw his Firebird on a hyzer, and I think that's exactly the shot you need to do here.
Ironically, he threw a destroyer.
Oh, really? Well,
He's throwing some big boy discs.
he needs actually a little bit of skip around the bend, but that's okay.
KB, you gonna give Philo some forehand lessons?
Yeah, sure. Hey, he gave me a lesson, and I wasn't doing so hot, so I busted out my forehand. And he goes, I can't do that.
Ooh.
I was like, all right, good.
Just on the outside edge for Tyburski. Todd cleans up.
Representing the Maple Hill Open there, one of the best tournaments in the nation.
Philo with a great 2 on this hole.
Pro tip, guys, take your bag off.
What, even from 25 feet? Yeah, most likely from 25 feet.
Almost get
At what point? Yeah, that brings up a question. At what point do you keep the bag on?
Oh, for me, I try to take the bag off as much as possible because I've had too many putts where I have left the bag on, putted it casually, and then mess it up. Hole number 7, 356 feet, par 3. And, of course, the unforgettable part about this hole is that the basket is on the spine of a hill here. So the green is almost non-existent, and the real challenge comes from either making a run at this pin or laying up. Philo with a beautiful shot off the tee goes right through it.
Long.
He goes past
How
the
do
pin.
you go long on this shot? This is a mean flex and a strong hookup type shot here. A lot of people do exactly what Hunter Todd did and go in early on the left.
That is a lot more
And then just like
what
that,
most
Charlie
people
throws.
see. Charlie
Did Charlie just throw? Did that even happen?
and a
bounce.
skip, and it's going to go OB. That creek runs along the right side, and it catches its first victim.
K-square. Oh,
And a little bit late release.
That's fine.
It's magic.
yeah, that's a magical, fortunate break. K-square, do you remember what Charlie was throwing a lot of times, what that red disc was?
I believe that was an Avenger.
Okay.
An Avenger he was chucking out there. And it's kind of tough for somebody who's predominantly forehand to throw a lot of these, left fading holes. But he seemed to make it mostly work.
Here's Hoffman trying to get up, stick it up there so we can have a clean approach at it. And that's really what you want to do on this pin. If you don't have a run at it from your second shot, and even sometimes when you do, you got to be careful about catching that edge and rolling away. And we see a little bit of it there.
Yeah, we remember from first round, Philo and Robbie McAlpine both took the mean rollaways.
Here's Tyburski trying to make a little bit of a run at it, and that's what happens. You got to be ready for that when you make a run at this hole.
There's not much of a landing zone up there though either. So you got to kind of either run it or have a 15-footer.
That was Charlie putting out for his 3 after he went out of bounds. Hunter makes a run at it and pays a little bit. Still should be able to clean that one
Yeah,
up.
it's a lucky tree. Could have been worse.
So you'll notice Philo took a pro play there and said, I'm just going to lay up.
Same thing with Tyburski. Todd, a player of his caliber, should be able to make that putt.
Philo probably doesn't like this hole then. He probably feels like he had a great drive and has to lay up a putt.
I think that's fair to say of any 1,000-plus rated player. When you're sitting at 1020s, 1030s, and you're forced to lay up a 25-footer, it's a really, tough pill to swallow.
But he
Cleans
did,
it
and
up, though.
probably saved him a stroke.
There's really only a few places on that flat area in front of the green that you can make a run at it confidently. Hole number 8, 247 feet, par 3, more downhill than what the flower would show you. The OB Creek is alongside to the right, and this is going to be an overstable putter or mid-range for most of these players.
And looking at that control, that's tough with a mid-range.
There it is. Philo gets a great skip and just rolls right by the pin. Can't do it any better than that.
Somebody called the valet.
And that is a tough late release there for
Someone
Bryan
call
Hoffman. Hunter Todd floats it
flat.
out there,
A little flat.
catches some late foliage and gets knocked down. Probably about a 40 or 50 footer. And the forehand route here, very dangerous because, again, that brings that out of bounds into play on the right.
Wow, that was close to acing it.
That was a magical meteor shot right there, fellas.
I don't know. I believe Steven Schroeder has aced this hole on a flick meteor also, so maybe that's the forehand route.
See, it's really tough. You need something, if you're going to flick it, you need something that will guarantee keep turning left no matter what, because that creek is 15, maybe 20 feet off the basket.
Mr. Tyburski must have caught in some early tree, but he finishes very nicely on that upshot. Hoffman
With the Feldberg.
the casual step through, but he goes long. About a 20-footer for the comeback.
There are a lot of rocks behind that basket, so you don't get too many
Hunter
slide.
Todd, beautiful putt there for his birdie. That was probably about 50 feet out, and he just made it look very easy.
Like you said, Hunter knows this course like no other, so he knows I can run it pretty much from anywhere and not really fear.
Comebacker, no good.
Well, that's Charlie. I think that was Charlie's drive all the way back there.
Brian Hoffman is saying, thank you, Treesus.
He'll take it.
Philo with a drop-in deuce.
Nothing better than going on the next hole after you throw your drive.
Coleman cleans up as well. We're going to move on into hole number 9. 394 feet, par 4, straight for the first 325, 350 feet or so, and then a sharp left-hand turn uphill around Amando to the basket. But this is a hole, KB, where you definitely want to try and get a 3 on this one because it's definitely a low-scoring hole.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes if you get a really clean, lucky throw, I say lucky, just a little bit of a hyzer, you can actually sometimes have 60-foot jump putt for or two. So it's possible.
And it's also possible to hit some early wood here, as we saw from Philo and from Hunter Todd, as they both have less than favorable shots.
Philo and Hunter are starting to put in a little bit of a battle there. There's a 2-stroke difference, jumping up from a 4-stroke difference. So Philo's racing up on the former champion.
That was a great pull there by Tyburski, but he hits a late tree and bounces off to the right. Should still have a good look at it.
If that sneaks through, that's the shot I'm talking about.
Yep, that shot with just enough hyzer to carry it through and get it uphill just a little bit. Here's Hunter Todd.
Another pill to swallow right there.
Absolutely. You do not want your disc to turn over at all. You need it going high and left.
Should be a putt right there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Philo looked at the fairway line, and he said, I'm going to go through the trees with a
Look
jump
at
putt.
that skip from Brian Hoffman, throwing the forehand roller, a hard one into the ground, and he skips it up right by the basket. Great shot.
Brian asked everybody, hey, is this a good idea? I really want to go for this. And he did it pretty confidently. Forehand roller right up the hill.
Well, it worked out for him. Here is Hunter Todd. This is his third shot, just a little bit past the basket. He'll have a little bit of a tester inside the circle probably, but of course that drop off coming back to the basket is tough.
Ooh, off the chastity belt. That is tough.
Oh, and just inside. Charlie Coleman squeaks it in on the back edge of the bucket, and he will take home a birdie there.
You could see that smile there. He knew what just happened.
After a great upshot there from Tyburski, he cashes in his birdie as well. Hunter Todd a little bit high there, but no problems.
This is this I would say with these guys is a must birdie. So par feels pretty rough.
And I believe that is all birdies except for Philo.
Philo and Hunter.
Hole number 10, 328 feet, par 3, straight ahead fairway. The only challenge, of course, is that little hill that's right in the middle of the fairway. You got to throw up and over the hill, which can make for a challenging shot here, but a great forehand route being thrown by Charlie, and he ends up just past the pin, about 30 feet to the right.
There's not a lot of forehanders who have that kind of touch. That was a beautiful throw.
Oh, no, and there's Tyburski kicking off into the right woods. That'll be a tough out for him. Hoffman hits the same tree, only he kicks to the left. Let's see if Philo can get it down the fairway clean.
Yeah, he definitely called it.
And he does for the
What
backhand.
What did he call?
He said, right down the middle, I'm going to be parked. No, wait, I'm kidding. It's going to fade. And there it did.
It was about 50 or 60 feet short there, but that's the play when you're throwing that backhand shot is you want it to hyzer flip a little bit, fade left to right, but finish
And I
right
think
by the basket.
Hunter just threw that boss off the tee pad. I believe that's what he forehands the most out there.
Nice outshot there from Tyburski, working out of a lot of woods. Hoffman was with his upshot.
So he faded a lot more than I thought he would.
There's Philo. Oh, just short from outside of the woods. Put a run on that one, but a little bit low. There's Ken Tyburski saving his par there off that tee shot. That's a well-played 3.
I remember Philo telling us that every time he thought Ken had a putt that he might miss, he would make it. So that was the difference.
Hands down.
Hunter with a rare birdie, and looks like Charlie will get one too.
Charlie with that great forehand tee shot, able to cash in on the birdie.
Look at him marking his territory right there. He knew it was a great shot.
What? Marking his territory? Oh, okay.
Hey, all dogs go to heaven. You know what it is.
Philo, of course, probably not happy with that 3, but he'll take it on into the next hole, which is hole number 11, 221 feet, par 3. Another birdie run here that gives you a couple of different options, a backhand hyzer shot to the right or the forehand shot to the left. And it looks like Charlie's going to go with that forehand look. There's a little bit of a ridge to the left of the pin here, so that favors the forehand finish.
Oh, hit the vine.
Gets knocked
One
down short.
vine.
He'll be in that gorge. Here is Hunter Todd going with the hyzer route, and he hits about 3/4 of the way down the fairway. Hoffman going with the forehand route, and you really got to try and get it up high and spike it in there. That's what Hoffman does, but he's still a little bit short of the pin.
Little death putt.
As soon as Tyburski let this one go, Charlie Coleman just goes, yeah, that's parked. Not quite, but it was definitely the ideal backhand you want to have on this hole.
There's Philo again throwing the forehand shot, which is what he threw in round number 1 as well.
He's probably a little ticked off. He thought probably thought that was right under the basket.
The entire time, Philo's like, yeah, these trees. All these trees. It's a big difference playing here in North Carolina after spending all that time on the West Coast.
Coming from Europe, where you could just unload too, is where he came from.
Here's Tyburski looking for that deuce, and he gets it.
Let's see the other angle.
Beautiful shot there from Ken Tyburski from the straddle position. Facing that downhill cliff, too, behind the basket, and that takes a lot of calm to be able to hit that shot. Philo looks like he just pulled his wrist there at the last moment when he released. Didn't look clean coming out.
That was not the time to airmail.
That wasn't
And
clean either.
Bryan Hoffman, yes, going a little bit too high there, and you can see that he's going to be putting out of that gorge behind the basket.
Hey, well, you know, he hit the birdie after hitting the vine, so we said thanks to the vine. You know, as he grabs it, as he pulls himself up.
I'm sure that's exactly what he's thinking.
Yeah.
The comebacker for Hoffman is no good.
That's a
That's
rough
a
hole.
tickle.
And that's a tough one to take. Philo cleans it up. Hoffman's going to clean up his 4. And after a few more tap-ins here, we will reach the end of round number 2, part number 1 of the 2015 21-hole salute. We've got some great action here on the combination between Final Round Radio and Jomez Productions. Guys, we'll see you here for part number 2. Yes!